Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and thank you very much for checking out today's video and spending some of your day with me. Really appreciate that. And guys, today we're going to be talking about a bait that you hear me mention quite a bit on the channel here, but I want to talk about how to fish it during the summertime, and that's the Megabass sleeper gill, guys. There's about a half a dozen ways that I catch bass on the sleeper gill during the summertime when they won't bite anything else, and I want to go over those techniques and strategies with you guys in today's video, because this is something that works really good from about June until early September. So we're going to get into that in today's episode. And sorry if it's a little noisy out there, guys. It's pouring down rain here right now. I got the tackle room doors open because it's pretty hot in here, so hope it's not too loud with that rain there. Also, guys, here it comes, the daily dreaded housekeeping tips you guys probably absolutely hate to hear. Two quick things I want to remind you guys of. SolarBat has still got their independent sale going on my Signature Series sunglasses right now, my RB2s and RB3s. You can get them at 30% off right now, and any purchase over $98, you get a free hard case from SolarBat. So I'll put my link in the description to SolarBat, or you can get them at Tackle Warehouse on my link there. And also, guys, a quick invitation to please check out my lake map breakdowns for Fish the Moment. Great resources to learn more about your favorite lake, get some good places on your favorite lake you've never fished before, or a lake you've never been to. So I'll put that Fish the Moment breakdown link in the description of the video. Really appreciate that. Okay, guys, let's get into this a little bit. For some of those guys that have never heard about this, I assume everybody does, but they don't. This is the Megabass sleeper gill. Thing looks exactly like a little bluegill, guys. Look at that here. This one, I've caught so many on this thing, the eyes came off here. The eyes are just stuck on there, but that's the Megabass sleeper gill. Looks exactly like a bluegill. This is that pumpkin seed color, which is one of my favorite colors. And also, guys, I'll put my sleeper gill link and my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video if you guys would like to pick up a couple of them. They got just a ton of different good perch patterns here. They got, different type of bluegill patterns. And they've also got some different type of shad patterns there as well, if you want the shad patterns. But you can just look through the list there on the link. But anyway, this is a sleeper gill, and it looks like a swim bait, but you don't really fish it like a swim bait per se, because it has a weighted keel on the bottom. It's got a lead weight in here that makes it stand up on the bottom like that. And then you've got the hook behind the dorsal fin here. It's hidden by the dorsal fin, nice and protected. Nice wagon paddle tail. And guys, when this thing comes through the water, it looks just like a little bluegill swimming through the water. I mean, identical. This one's pretty roughed up, but look at the attention to detail on that thing. The thing just looks exactly like a little perch. So anyway, guys, let's talk a little bit about how you want to set it up and what you want to fish it and how you want to fish it. First of all, you got to have the right equipment in order to throw this thing, because one of the ways I like to catch bass on this thing is pitching it, flipping it, and skipping it around certain areas. So for that application, I like a 7-foot 2-inch, some type of a medium heavy bait cast rod. I use that Megabass Perfect Pitch. I'll link that in the description too. I usually have 15 to 17 pound test Seaguar and Vizex fluorocarbon line with it, and that's pretty much the setup that I use anytime that I fish the sleeper gill. Okay, different patterns are going to work here. Let's talk about different summertime options for it. First of all, this is a great lure to fish around boat docks. It doesn't matter if you have the piling docks like on Lake Gunnersville or Lake Norman, or if you have like floating docks on Lake Lanier or here in the Ozarks here. They work both on both type of dock situations. One of the reasons they work so good on docks is in the summertime of the year, bluegill and perch love to live around docks. They feed on that plankton and the algae that are on the docks, the minnows that are around there. And if you've ever walked on a boat dock in the summertime, you see bluegills all over the place. And if there's bluegills all over the place, they're going to hit the sleeper gill bluegill for sure. So what I like to do with that is, if I'm on a dock that has pilings on it, I try to skip that sleeper gill as far up underneath those pilings as I can get. And if I'm fishing along a floating dock, I just pitch and flip that sleeper gill right along the edge of the floats, down the front of the dock, down the side of the dock, in the slipways. Sometimes I'll skip it underneath the walkway of those floating docks. Keep your rod tip high at about 11 o'clock and just use like a medium retrieve like that. The key on fishing those docks, you don't want this bait to get down very deep. You want to keep it high up on the water column. So skip under that dock or pitch it on that dock. Keep your rod tip high, medium retrieve, keep it coming through the surface just like that. in sight. And obviously that depends on what your water clarity is, but most of the time I want that sleeper gill to be sort of like 2 to 6 inches underneath the surface, almost like a topwater lure coming in there, because when those fish come up on it like that, they're going to hit it a lot more aggressively. And even though it does look real, it's a fairly large bait overall profile wise, so you don't want to get a good look at it. That's why you don't want to use a slow retrieve and let it get down deeper in the water column. Keep it up high where they can't get a real good look at it. That's the number one thing with it. Next technique that works really good in this, you guys hear me talking about this a lot the last couple months, is target those areas where you think those bluegills are spawning at. Now they spawn around boat docks too, but bluegills love to spawn back in shallow, flat coves in the heat of the summer. So get into a flat cove where, like, you know, you've got flat banks on it. Usually some type of a hard bottom is better. It's really good if you have some overhanging trees or some type of bank cover, because bluegills like to spawn around stuff like that. And take the sleeper gill and do the same thing. Cast it right to the bank, keep your rod tip high, reel it about that far underneath the surface, and just cover water around the back end of those coves, especially if you see any shade. If you got a shade pocket or a tree's coming laying over the water and it's got, you know, like a shade pocket under that tree, skip that sleeper gill up underneath there, and guys, they will come out and absolutely smoke that thing. It's very similar to like a swim jig type of a thing. Swim jig fishing would be very similar with it. One other deal that I catch some fish on also in the summertime of the year is early in the morning. If you can get out on any type of main lake or secondary point, those fish right off the bat in the morning in the summertime love to live right on the bank on those main lake and secondary points. So like the first hour of daylight or something, take the sleeper gill, guys, get right up on the bank on those points, fish it just under the surface, fish as many points as you can while there's still shade on it. Really good technique to catch them like that. And finally, guys, same deal early in the morning, get this thing and throw it on a riprap bank. Get on a shady riprap bank, you know, daylight, maybe an hour or two after daylight, throw it right up on the bank, you know, keep it, same deal, just under the surface, and cover as much as that riprap on the shady side of it as you can over the first hour or two. But one of the things you'll notice about the sleeper gill, guys, when they bite this thing, it's not like any lure where they just swim up to it and grab it. They come out of nowhere like a rocket and just annihilate the thing. I mean, they hit it so viciously. And one aspect that'll help give you guys a little bit better hookup is on the hook here, take it and open it up a little bit. Just take some pliers and bend it out maybe like a 1/16 of an inch. That tends to get a little bit more meat there. And another tip that I'll give you as far as hooking the fish on this bait is do not set the hook when the fish hits it. It's like when you're reeling that thing through the water and you see a 3 or 4 pounder just charge out after it, instinctually you're going to want to set the hook as soon as you see that fish hit that bait. But you have to expect the strike, and don't do that. When you throw that thing out there and you're reeling it, all of a sudden one comes up and clobbers it, just let the fish have it. Don't get in a big hook set. This is a soft bait. They're not going to drop it. Let the fish get it and feel the fish on there, see the fish moving maybe 2 or 3 feet, and then lean into him like that. Don't set the hook super hard, just lean into it and start reeling, but hesitate until that fish has this bait in its mouth, because a lot of times they'll come up and grab it like that, and then they'll swim away with it, and as they're swimming away with it, they get the rest of it in their mouth like that. Just try to hesitate that knee-jerk, live nerve-ending type of a hook set reaction there. Anyway, guys, this is one of my favorite baits, man, that Megabass makes. This thing is a fish catching bait. I love fishing it. It's so much fun to fish. Like I said, you can see the bass hit it most of the time. But again, you can get some in my Tackle Warehouse link in the description of this video. Hope it helps you guys out, and we'll check in later.